What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? It's your boy Zubaz coming to you because I'm excited to announce that the draft is complete. They've actually started the season on the Tournament of Champions Season 2. And I've been watching the draft. I'm excited to run through what happened there as they're starting their season. Please take a look because these are the creme de la creme, the final eight to determine who is the best player of base hit for the year. And I'm going to quickly run through, summarize the teams, their draft, and then I'm going to tell you who's going to win and who isn't. And then I'll let them decide if they want to still play the season or not, because what I'm saying is definitive. It will happen. I am 100% predicting who's going to win starting now. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to go through it. And before I do, I just want to everybody to keep in mind that this was a league created for this. So they haven't had any previous draft classes or anything. So the talent was actually pretty thin all the way through. And it really, no doubt, was challenging to each one of these guys to choose where they were going to be weak at, because they really had to make some tough decisions. I'm going to bring it up on the screen right now. All right. Okay, hopefully you're seeing that. So basically what this is just the spreadsheet of how they drafted. I like bringing up this view because it lets me see a snapshot of what this is, but I'm going to keep going through, or I'm going to go through each one of the teams. But just to highlight, Drink Slinger and the Drink Slingers, he won the lottery. He got the first overall pick. Now, I've been in enough of these drafts to tell you that the first overall pick actually is not the best place to be more often than not. A lot of times the best place to be is in 8th to get that turn and get those two picks together. Sometimes it's being right in the middle so that you can get best player available as it goes through. Occasionally, there is somebody that is so good and head and shoulders above the draft class that the number 1 overall pick becomes incredibly valuable. We're going to come back to that. I'm actually going to go pull up Snowwind just so I can do these in order, and then I'll go back. And basically what I'm going to do is just talk through the lineup as they have set. Obviously, they're likely going to be moving it around during the season, but it's still early enough that I think we can use this as a snapshot of their total talent. Now, my boy Snowwind, who I can tell you, I've played in leagues with him. He is a very shrewd drafter. He knows what he's doing. And I think when I looked at his draft, he was definitely had a plan. And his plan was, I'm going to shrink this stadium down. I'm going to get the best pitching available. And then the deepest attribute in this draft for the offensive big three between DI, BA, and SL was slugging. And so he just decided, I'm going to go in first 3 picks, all pitchers, and then decided that he could get the slugging on the back end. He shrunk his stadium down to minimum and decided that he was going to sacrifice defense. He was going to sacrifice some speed. He was just going to bang that ball and count on playing Earl Weaver baseball, because you can see right at the top, Montero, Penny, and then Stever, followed by Cisneros. He's trying to do Earl Weaver baseball, which is the best way to win is 3-run home runs. And that is definitely what he's trying to do here. But like I said, he did pick 3 pitchers first. I know these guys don't look probably extraordinary for normal leagues, but for this league, these were round 1, 2, and 3 pitchers. And you can see Don Smith was obviously his number 1, which they're going to be riding that horse all year. So let's jump over to the real city, or the real Jar City United. And I know it's probably Real, because this team is apparently in Jar City, Spain. I don't know. This is my boy Andujar, who, like, I've real life known him for, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. and he's one of the best humans on earth. He's also a very good player. And he got stuck in this draft, I think, in one of the worst picks that you could be in this draft, and that was the 7th pick overall. A lot of problems here because there was a dearth of talent after the first couple guys, but then he wasn't at that turn in the ace, so he was really having to fight Heroclio. I'm going to have trouble saying that. Heroclio, judging who he was going to pick all draft. It was clear he was having to make guesses on who he could get now, or who he had to take now, and who he was going to get on the comeback. But Jar actually had a really great draft strategy. Like in these 8-team draft strategy, or 8-team leagues, you know, a traditional draft strategy is doing something like, I'll take a pitcher, I'll take a shortstop, I'll take a pitcher, I'll take a second baseman, center fielder, pitcher. And that's actually almost exactly what he did. I think he took pitcher, shortstop, pitcher, center field, pitcher, third base, or something like that. And that's a good way to do it, so you don't get stuck with an absence of players at any one position. Now, the problem with it, though, is you can't take advantage of the weightings in the draft. And I think Jar struggled with that through this entire draft, but he did get one of my favorite people in the draft. You'll see him right there at the top of his lineup, John Robinson. John Robinson, let's see, he picked him up. Where did Jar pick him up? 2nd round. Yeah, so not surprisingly, because this guy is gorgeous for the talent in this league. 87 BA, 100 speed. 100 speed. This dude is going to fly all year long, and still 82 range at shortstop. Can't be mad at that strategy at all. You see down here, he has one really good pitcher at the top in Scott Williams, but at 56 EN, you know, he's going to be at every 5th day pitcher depending on how he sets his lineup. So, but he's going to be counting on that guy to win 20 games this year if he's going to get through, maybe even 22 games. So that's my boy Jar, and I'll come back at the end and tell you who I think is going to the playoffs, who's going to win it all. But next up, CK. CK has been around so long that he was on my original Threads of Time podcast back in like 2015. CK's a good dude, but I played with him in redraft, where we've done a lot of these drafts. He's one of the best drafters out there. Like hands down, he is very, very good at this. And so I don't think this was any different. Kind of like Jar, but he had a very technical draft. Like when you look at how CK drafted, pitcher, shortstop, center fielder. Obviously, he's going to play one of those guys at third or second base. I'll take a look at that. Pitcher, and then you see how that played out for him. Is he's even across the board. He has a great defense for this league. You look at this, like he landed Charles Ford, 93 shortstop. That's a lockdown shortstop. But look at this third base, 86. He has even 87 in left field, 83. And I think this is a center fielder that's converted. I think Thompson's a center fielder converted, and Pollock. That defense is very strong. But look at what he also did. Typical CK fashion. He has great speed throughout this whole team. He has average BA and slightly above average in DI too. I know that doesn't look like slightly above average, but for this league, it actually worked out. I think he was 4th overall weighted. And so he's solid there. This pitching, though, is going to be the thing that he's really counting on all year. I think this is the area that I think will determine whether or not CK makes the playoffs and whether he can do some damage when he's there, because he does have a couple of good pitchers. This Richard Crawford guy I like a lot. Normally, I don't like guys where power is their heaviest weighting, but in a league with low DI, average BA, like that guy's going to crush people. Burgess, who's clearly his best pitcher, also has 44 EN. This is not, and then look at these guys, his top three pitchers, 65, 60, 44. They are not going to be able to do a four-man rotation. So he's going to, well, at least I don't think so. I mean, unless he's really whipping the horses in the bullpen. But he's going to have to manage his rotation all year long. He's going to have to look at it every day. He's going to be moving pitchers around. You're going to see that's going to determine whether or not he wins in this league. You can also see, though, he did get deep enough with a couple of these other guys where, I mean, they're not great. They're not hammerheads either. So I think he did exactly what CK needed to do. Drafting where he drafted, third overall pick. Okay, next up is a guy nobody should underestimate, is Cristo. Cristo and the Minnesota Muskies. If you watch the first video that we did on that league, I said during it that the more I looked at Cristo's lineup, the more scared I got, and rightfully so. He made it. He did great. He crushed in that league. And then in this league, and he had a great draft again. He had the 6th pick, so he was the other sandwich on Jar's picks. And I don't know for sure. I'd have to ask Jar, but I think Cristo stole his picks a lot of the times. So now let's start with the bad news. He doesn't have great pitching. In fact, if I go back to Cristo, he led with a second baseman and shortstop, pitcher, and then he didn't take another pitcher until the 6th round. Pitching is going to be the weakest part of this team, but it might not matter, because the thing that he did, knowing that he was going to take position players early, if that was his plan the whole time, is he got really deep on some of these defensive players. I mean, look at these guys. Now, granted, Gilbert Jones, I clicked on him earlier, and I think he's a converted left fielder. But Hathaway, look at this guy. Is this guy beautiful or what? Patrick Hathaway, he could be the MVP of the league. Now, he's not going to get it because of how offense is weighted. But like, I think if you took a player vote, man, he's going to be in the top 5 for MVP of this league. But then he did that thing that Cristo does. Like, he doesn't do traditional lineups. Like, you'll see him kind of go in waves where he's like DIBA slugging, and he'll try, no matter where you come up in an inning, to have a damage-forming inning. And no doubt that he did that again in this league. I really like this lineup a lot. Like I said, his pitching is weak, though, and he has an uphill climb with these pitchers all year. But Henry Ellison has 95 EN. So he has the one thing that you'll see going through the rest of these teams that none of them have. And that's a guy that can absolutely be a 1-4-7 playoff type guy. Means he can get, 38, 40, 42, probably not 40 starts this year. Really got to like him. He's, again, not cream of the crop, but when you're pitching him that many times, on average, he's going to be better than the combination of what you have between a number 2 and a number 5 pitcher or something like that. So I think his strategy was good. He has enough bats. He has maybe the best defense in the league. So got to like him. Okay. Heroclio, and I believe he named his team Hero Clittown, a place that I have never found. I've looked for it many times, but Heroclio Land Sharks, that's a great team name. Let's see, he picked 8th overall. So he was the one that was on that turn. Now, like I said at the beginning, sometimes that is the best place to draft. Unfortunately, probably not this draft. Because when we got to him down here, he very smartly took Donald Bennett, and then he took James Sims. Now, I'm going to come back to his 3rd and 4th picks. God, get out of here. Which were Kimball and Hubbard when we look at this team, because those were actually his best picks, were 3rd and 4th when it came back around. So Bennett and Sims, Bennett. Okay, so here, shortstop, good shortstop, and he took him because he felt like he needed to. He was the second shortstop taken overall. He was the only one. He had the best bat defense mix, and obviously he has good glove, great arm, like nothing to dislike about Bennett. But he was afraid there wasn't going to be a shortstop coming back to him. At least that's how it looked while they were drafting. And so he needed to take him. And then James Sims, nothing to write home about James Sims, but with the talent that's in the league, debatable whether or not he was the right pick there. But then you look, when it came back, he got Kimball, who might even have, when it's all said and done, a better year than Sims. I would actually bet he does have a better year than Sims, the way that the talent is deployed in this league. And then Hubbard. Now, Hubbard was fourth, the first pick in the fourth round. I love that pick. He is the #1 BA guy in the league. He is going to, bat 330 this year or whatever it is. To have a lockdown number 2 or 3 batter, it looks like he's going to bat them both. I mean, that is a steal of a pick. You've got to like that pick. Okay, so next up, gas money, because that's what my boy Demo needs. He wants to win this thing, so he has enough money for gas. And Demo picked, was he the number 2? Yeah, he was the number 2 overall pick. And his first pick, we'll just talk about him right off the bat because this guy's great. Morrison, he might be the MVP for sure. Morrison for this league is a banger, 100 slugging. He's the #1 slugging guy in the league, and it's going to show all year. But look at what Demo did. He had the best BA in the league, and he put 2 of the 3 of those guys right in front of Morrison and put the third one right behind him. And this team's going to score runs. This team, I bet you right now, is going to score the most runs in the league. Because even the bottom of his lineup consistently has good BA guys. He didn't sacrifice range too much anywhere. Like even looks like his shortstop's playing out of position. I think he's a second baseman. Let's look. Yeah, he's a second baseman. So he sacrificed on defense there. But when you're looking at how good of an offense he has, boy's going to do some damage, and he's going to need to, because when you look at the pitching, I am very suspicious of Demo's pitching. He decided to go power pitching, I think, because of availability. But I think a couple of these guys might get beat up this year as starters, like the Brewington, if he's going to pitch him all year. And again, maybe these power guys do better than I'm thinking they're going to, because of the lack of some of the DI, and there's a few guys with some heavy contact. But who knows? I mean, his season's really going to come back to how these pitchers perform. Okay, let's get over to Fire Away and JFN 99 fan. JFN, this is a sneaky team. I'll just tell you right now, they are almost like perfectly average everywhere, right? Like the DI, nothing to write home about. The BA, pretty good. Nothing to write home about. Slugging, same thing. Have a couple guys with speed. Look at this range. That is about as even Steven as it gets, but it's everywhere, right? There's a couple reasons to really like this team. And one of them is the first 2 picks. I think it was Daniel Jones and Gary Garcia. Let's see. Where is he here? Daniel Jones and Gary Garcia. Yeah. So Gary Jones and Daniel Jones and Gary Garcia. This was the best first and second round picks that anybody had together, right? I'll show you why. And what I'm talking about is best pick with the available player at the time. I mean, smartest pick at the time. Daniel Jones, look at this guy, 81, 83, 91. Now that you've seen other teams, you know how much of a banger this dude is, right? And he has 75 speed, and he's more than serviceable in right field. Not that matters too much, but it's still like this guy is going to have a great year, and you can see he's already off to a pretty hot start. He's a lefty, only downside there, but and then you have Gary Garcia, who is a 96 BA guy, plays a great third base. And, you know, with an arm like that at third base, he's not going to miss any double plays from that side. And being able to bat him second, or it looks like he's even batting him first against lefties, he's going to be great. Pitching, again, perfectly average, but he's a little bit deep. And again, I know it doesn't look great, but there's not 10, 12, 15 drafts. There's no preseason free agents. This is a created league. So this is actually a pretty even pitching staff. I will tell you that this is the exact type of team that I've seen in leagues like this, that when you look at it, it's like, yeah, everything's fine. When the playoffs come, this is the team that's either in fifth or fourth, right? And like they're going to middle, and they're going to win some, they're going to lose some. They are going to be a coin flip for the playoffs. I'll tell you where I put them here in a second. And then I'll finish up with Drink Slinger. Now, Slinger, as I said at the top, won the lottery. This was a draft where there was a clear-cut number one overall pick, and Slinger didn't miss it. That guy is Christopher Rodriguez. This guy is a tremendous player. He 92 range, 90 speed, and then, you know, he's at 75 and 80 BA slugging with medium DI. This guy's going to have a great year. He's going to be the guy everybody wanted. He's going to steal, you know, 65 bases. He's good all the way through. You're going to count on that guy. But that's not even the best pick that Slinger had. Slinger had the best overall pick in the entire draft. Round 5, he got Aaron Kimbrough. Look at this guy. He's a catcher. I think he was the first catcher to go. There was not a catcher that left, because I think everybody was worried about talent acquisition at some of the skill positions, second base, shortstop. Even a lot of center fielders went in those first couple rounds. And then this guy fell. How did they let this guy fall to Slinger? The guy that also got the first overall pick got the guy that is going to have a 430 on base percentage this year, maybe 450. The guy is going to have a shockingly good year. He's going to be a great leadoff hitter. Unfortunately, Slinger doesn't have as much power that you would like to have a guy like that. But who he does have, Cody Allen, another DI-BA guy, and he's 7.4 slugging. And then you got a 98 BA guy in Justin Farr batting fifth after Todd Ward. Look, I just want you to look at these picks. Okay, so Christopher Rodriguez was first overall, and then you have Cody Allen third, Kimbrough fifth. I just don't understand how that happened. And then Babes Georges, his first pick. Actually, I think that was probably his worst pick of the draft. There was better talent at that point, in my opinion. But he's still got a guy, you know, that can be his ace. And then he did pick up Andrew Barrick. I think that was his what round? What's that pick? Fourth round, with a real high EN. So I actually, spoiler alert, definitely think that Slinger is going to finish in first place in the regular season. Slinger's team is just too good. He got too many best available players. Barrick is not going to have a great year, but he's going to pitch a ton of innings. He's going to strike a bunch of guys out. And with him and Babes Georges probably pitching 40% of all the innings that this team's going to have, they're going to be just fine enough for this offense to wreck shop. This offense is very good. They're going to be pushing people around the bases all year, and then look like he has a defense now with a 92 shortstop and a 92 second baseman in Vieira, and he picked up Vieira in the 7th round. There is no doubt that Slinger is going to finish first overall for the season. Who's going to finish second? I'll tell you. It's going to be my boy Cristo. I like this team. This is a sneaky good team. He has enough slugging, enough BA, enough DI, enough defense, some great speed at the top. I don't think I hit on that enough when I was talking about him before, but he has great speed at the bottom too. Briscoe is going to finish second. Finishing third is going to be CK. He had such a good technical draft that I think he has exactly what he needs. He's great. Like when I was talking about him, I said he was going to, this is the team that could finish in 6th if he doesn't manage his pitching. But I know CK. He's going to manage his pitching. It's going to be fine, and he's going to finish in 3rd place. And then the last playoff spot, this was a tough one because honestly, any of these guys could, like Demo and his BA could fit there. JFN and his perfectly average team could hit there. Snowwind could be there. Real with Jar could be there, but I decided to give it to JFN. I know that sounds like it might be a little bit of an upset, but this fire away team, the more I looked at this, as long as Daniel Jones performs this whole year and Gary Garcia, those first 2 picks, I think he's going to be able to manage through everything else. Perfectly average is going to get him 4th place. And then he's going to have to deal with Slinger, and we'll see what happens. So there it is. What's going to happen in the playoffs? Slinger versus JFN. Slinger is going to win that one. And then Cristo versus CK. All in for an upset. CK is going to beat Cristo, and then Slinger is going to win it all and be our 2nd overall Tournament of Champions champion. Disagree with me? Say it in the comments. Hit Discord, the forums. Tell me what you think. I want to hear where I'm wrong. Feel free to disagree with me. The league is TOC Final Table if you want to check it out for yourself. And next time, I am out of here. Go Slinger. Make me proud.